Okay, so this is the Ross chapter 32 material. Ross 32. So let's walk through some of these questions here, okay? Let's read number 1 together, everybody. Vayivtach ba'Adonai vayimalet me oyevav. All right. So the first verb here is vayivtach. Vayivtach. What kind of a conjugation pattern do I have with this vav pathak doubling dot here? That is a WCI form. I have a yod before my root letters, nothing after. This is which person, gender, number? 3ms. So whatever it means he did something, right? What does the verb batach mean? So to trust. Good. What stem is this? The kal, nifal, pl, pual, what? Okay, it's the kal. How do I know it's the kal? This vowel pointing here is the most important thing. Kirik under the yod prefix, silent shiva under 1. How many places does that happen? Just 1 in the kal. Yif code, right? The nifal is yipakade, have the kametz under root 1. PL and pual have vocal shivas under the yod. Yifakade, yifukad. Hifil has the A-class vowel, yafkid. Hofal has the U-class vowel under the yod, yofkad. Okay? So only the kal does this, and the verb batach in the kal means to trust. So somebody trusted. Is the verb, is the subject of the verb overtly stated here anywhere? No, so I just used the pronoun he, right? So he trusted ba'Adonai, in the Lord. Good. Vayimalet. Vayimalet. There's my vav pathak doubling dot in the nutty prefix, so there's another WCI. Yod with no ending. 3ms. Which stem is it here? By the way, if you don't have your principal parts page and your inflectional boxes, grab that. Get that handy because we'll want to be looking at those as we look at our verbs. What stem uses the kirik under the prefix plus doubling dot in root 1 with the kametz and a sere following? That is the nifal. The nifal's prefix forms do that. Yipakade, va-yipakade, and so forth. So what does malat mean in the nifal stem? To escape, run away, or be delivered. All right? So, he trusted and he, what? Escaped, ran away, was delivered. Me oyevav. What's the mem prefix here? Is that like a participle thing or is that a preposition thing? That's the preposition. Which one? The preposition from, which is the preposition men. Good. So he escaped from his enemies. Here I have the 3ms pronoun. You made it plural because of that yod, I hope. All right. It's his plural things. And the basic form is oyev, which comes from the verb ayav. It's a participle, kal participle, that means enemy. So he escaped from his enemies. All right. So that's the basic sentence here. Now here's one question for you. Why is there a pathak under the imperfect kal root 2 vowel? What do I normally expect for my theme vowel for the kal imperfects and WCIs? Think pakad. What's the normal theme vowel in the imperfect and WCI? It's yifkod, so it's a holum, right? Why do I have an A-class vowel here? What kind of consonants like A-class vowels? Gutturals. Do we have any gutturals anywhere in the universe around this verb? Yeah, root 3 is a chet, right? So it's a guttural, and it likes A-class vowels. So I would have wanted to say vayivtoch, but the chet said, give me an A! A! Like a good cheerleader, right? So, gets an A. All right, there you go. So if this is he trusted, vayivtach, how would I say she trusted? Yeah, you just changed out the yod for a tav. Va, tiv, tach. Okay? So, let's just practice this a little bit, all right? Va, tiv, tach. How would I say, and they, masculine plural, trusted? Vayivtach becomes what? What do I add at the end for they? A shurik, right? This is the prefix conjugation. So it's yod prefix and shurik on the backside. So va-yiv tehu. I can't keep the full vowel because it will reduce to vocal shava when I add the shurik. Va-yiv tehu. They trusted. How would I say I trusted and I trusted using the WCI form? It would be va, what? What would change here? What consonant goes in front of the bet? Yes, if it's first common singular, it's aleph. And what kind of vowel does aleph prefer? Gutturals prefer A class. Aleph likes segol whenever it can find one, right? Va, evtach. And my pathak will lengthen to a kametz because the aleph will reject the dagesh forte it should get. All right? So say that with me, everybody. Va, evtach. So this is, and I trusted. And I trusted. Okay? Good. See how we can just change our prefixes here and we can change our subjects. Okay? Anybody have any questions about number 1? All right. Let's look at number 2. Everybody, read this with me out loud together. B'yom hatzara techezku ba'aronai v'amatem amod. All right. Good. So, what is b'yom? Yeah, so yom is day, in day. In day. Now, there's no article here, right? So it could be in a day, and it could be in the day if what? If yom is in what kind of a construction? In a construct chain with something definite. So I got to ask myself, is yom next to a noun? And is that noun definite? And could this be a construct chain? In day hatzara. What is hatzara? Who remembers what sarah is? Yeah, it's distress. Is it articular? Yes. So maybe this is a construct chain. Would the form yom look any different if it were construct versus the absolute? No. There's no ending on yom, so I don't have an ending that changes to make it construct, and the vowel is historically long, and can I change those? Nope. Historically longs are unchangeable. So this could be the construct of day. So in the day of the distress, what? Techezku. Now, what are my 3 root letters here? This is one of our newer verb forms. Is it tachaz or chazak? Chazak. Okay, so I have a prefix tav and a shurik on the back side. That's looking like what? Conjugation. Imperfect. And tav shurik is which person gender number? 2MP. Okay. You should know this like the back of your hand, but in case you don't, look at your boxes and you'd see that, right? Imperfect 2MP. So, look at the vowel pattern here. What vowel class is a segol under the prefix tav? Is that A, I, or U class? It's an I class. So which verbs get I class vowels in their imperfect? Which stems? The kal and the nifal do. Okay? The kal and the nifal. Here in our present chapter, chapter 32, we learned about the kal when we have gutturals in root 1 position. And see, chet is a root 1 guttural. And I've got the segol instead of the Keurig, but it's still I class. And I hope that this is one of the things that you will really take with you as we go through these weak verbs, is the weak verbs are going to cause slight changes, but they're going to try to keep the same vowel classes that we've learned for the strong verb. So when you think about your strong verbs, the verb pakad, you can't just think in terms of, oh, that's a Keurig or that's a pathak. You need to be thinking, oh, that's an I-class Keurig. That's an A-class pathak, because we're going to see vowels change, but they'll try to stay the same class that they belong to, okay? So here, this is a cal imperfect with a 1 guttural verb. What does chazak mean in the cal? Again, this is a new verb for you. So look to the left in your book. Got your book in front of you. What does it mean to be firm or strong, right? So in the day of distress, you will, be strong or grow strong in the Lord. And then I have v'amadtem. Here's one of our new verbs as well. Amad means to stand. Now look at the form I've got. I have what looks like a perfect with the 3 root letters, right? Which person, gender, number is that if it's the perfect conjugation? 2MP, okay? But I also have a vav in front. And when I have a vav in front of a perfect, and I have an imperfect in the clause before, which was future, then this perfect might be what we've been calling a WCP, which will take on the nuance of the imperfect before it, okay? Which means I'm going to want to translate this as future. So you will be strong, and you will stand, and then I have amod, and you will stand. What does that mean? You will, surely stand. What form of amad do we have here on amod? Exactly. I've got a cal infinitive absolute. If you don't remember that, look at your principal parts at the cal, all the way down at the bottom of the line. It's pa code, a-o, right? That vowel pattern. And so this is the cal WCP with a cal infinitive absolute. When I have the infinitive matching the verb, and it's just the infinitive and the verb, shared roots, this is the strengthening or the emphasis used. So you will surely stand. As opposed to surely, you will stand, girl. Right? This is plural you. All right. Are there any questions about the other forms here? Anybody have any specific ones you want to look at together? Let's read number 4 together, everybody. Ready? Vayhi b'tso'ako vayahargehu achiv. Okay. So Vayhi, is that a WCI or a WCP form of Haya? WCI. So what time frame is it? Past. Good. Now I might not have to translate it if I have a prepositional phrase afterwards, which I do. There's the bet, right? And now I have tso'ako. What is the tzadi ayin kof thing doing? What is that? That's a verb. Verb tsa'ak. All right. And it has a holon vav on the back end of it. What is that? That's right. This is the 3ms pronoun. His tsa'aking. So past time in his tsa'aking, which means in his crying out. So so this has to do with crying out. Now here's the question. What stem is this? So clearly this is an infinitive construct, right? What we have is a bet preposition attached to an infinitive with the 3ms pronoun. Which infinitives do this? That's right. That's right, exactly. So the normal cal infinitive construct is pakod, but it switches to poked with pronominal suffixes attached on the back. Okay, and that's a kametz ketuf. That's what we got here. All right, so what's happened with this little deal here? This is a compound shava. The guttural likes to have those, okay? It doesn't, it should have just been content taking a silent shava, and that would have been okay, but here it ends up taking a compound shava, all right? Now, when you have a bet attached to an infinitive, what's really the best way to translate it? When. So, past time, when he tza'akt, when he cried out. What happened? Vayahargehu. You see that vai with a doubling dot? So that is a WCI, right? In keeping with the WCI at the front. These are all past tense. So when he cried out, vai, and the yod prefix before these three root letters. Now, is who a suffix? And if it is it a personal ending kind of suffix, or is it a pronominal suffix? Yeah, that's right. U by itself would be the personal ending, but who is a pronominal suffix, which means the yod before root 1 has no personal ending afterwards. And then I have my pronominal suffix. So this is a WCI 3MS. Okay? WCI 3MS plus the 3MS pronoun. So, the last question is, what stem is this? Vayahargehu. That A-class vowel makes it look like what? It looks like a hifil, doesn't it? Hifils get A-class vowels under their imperfect and other nutty prefixes. But is there a reason that I might have an A-class vowel here that has nothing to do with it being hifil? That's right. And what root position is the guttural in? It's in root 1 position. So when I have a guttural in root 1 position, then my prefixes are going to like A-class vowels here, right? And I will get the A-class compound shava, and then the holum if it's an active verb, okay? When I add a vowel after root 3, then this is going to reduce to a vocal shava. And when that happens, I've got two vocal shavas side by side. And we're going to resolve that by doing what? Shooting out both of the eyes. And so I'll have the two pathaks here, which is what I've got. Okay? So it should have been Vayaharog, and he slew. Okay, but when I add the direct object pronominal suffix, Yaharog becomes Yahargehu. Yahargehu. Okay, and he slew him. Now, what role does achiv play, and what does achiv mean? Ach is brother. The vav tells me it's whose brother? Which pronoun is that? It's 3ms. And is it one or many brothers? You see the yod, you might think it's plural, but what kind of vowel is before that yod? A kirik. And if there's ever a yod with the kirik before, the noun is singular. And if any other vowel is before the yod, the noun is plural. Okay? So this is one brother. And that tells me that masculine singular brother, his brother, could be the subject of the slaying, right? Since that's a WCI 3ms. So Cal WCI 3ms. And his brother slew him. So when he cried out, his brother slew him. That's really pathetic, isn't it?
So for the Vayahargehu,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a hifil because you also don't have that the I-class thing about after root 2.
Right, yeah. So with the hifil, I would have been looking for a kirik yod here, okay, and even when I add the pronominal suffix, we should expect that kirik yod to stay here. So vai yaharigehu, something like that. Now, I'm not even sure that harag occurs in the hifil. That's another reason to not go that way. Okay, great. Other questions? So number 6, let's look at that. We'll read it together. Ready? Imdu po ushamatem et devar Adonai. All right. So let me go ahead. I'm going to put a little line right here. This is one clause, and then this is the second clause, okay? Now, I have imdu. What are my 3 root letters? Ayin, mem, dalet. I have a curic here. You see a curic under root 1 with no prefixing. There's, based on the new stems we've learned, what might you think the stem is? Yeah, and if it's PL, it's PL perfect, right? Okay, so that's one possibility you have to keep in mind. But if this is the cow, there's another possibility. Normally, cows have a long A under them in the cow perfect, right? But cows can get a curic under root 1 and a silent shava under root 2 somewhere else. Where do we see that? The cow imperative. Remember? So we saw some infinitive constructs here. Pakod, pokde. The cow imperatives are pakod for 2ms and pick D for 2fs, pikdu 2mp, and pakodna for 2fp. So I can get the curic silent shava under roots 1 and 2 here in the cal imperative. So let's go with the cal imperative for a moment. How would we translate this? Stand. It's a command to stand. You guys, stand po, imdu po, stand here. Okay? Now, if you were suspecting that this were the PL, you'd be looking for a doubling dot in root 2. You might see that there. Mem is a squinum levi letter, so it could go away because there's a vocal shava under it. Imadu. But the real question would be, would you see this verb in the PL? Or would you see it in the cal? And you'd see it in the cal here. Okay? So one of the things that you'll learn as you learn Hebrew is which stems verbs tend to occur in when you see them. All right? So this is just stand here. U shematem. So look at what we've got again. We have another 3 root letters with tem on the back side. That looks like what conjugation? The perfect with which person, gender, number? 2MP, right? So this was a cal imperative 2MP with what looks like a perfect 2MP. But would it make sense to tell someone to stand and then to use a past tense form? Stand here and y'all heard. And that tells me, because I'm starting with an imperative, that this is probably a WCP in the cal with 2MP personal ending. And that means it's going to have the same volitional nuance of the imperative that came before it that it's in sequence with. So stand here and listen or hear et devar Adonai. And listen to the word of the Lord, okay? This is marking the direct object. The direct object has to be definite. And how do I know this is definite? It's in a construct chain, and the last member is proper noun, which makes it definite. Okay? So stand here and hear or listen to the word of Adonai. Okay, does that help? Okay, good. So even though in the cal imperative my ayin is a root 1 guttural, I don't have an A-class vowel here at all. I get the normal curic that I would expect for any cal imperative. All right? So there's nothing abnormal about the 1 gutturals when we make them imperative, unless it is the uninflected form like this. So amad would not be a mode with a vocal shava, but what? What would have to go under the ayin?
A compound shiva.
I need a compound shava. Okay, so it's amud, like that. Okay, so you man, stand. Imdu, you men, stand. Okay? All right. Let's look at number 7 real quickly. And let me just have you read that with me. Ready? Vayomer Elohim Aho Tochal Mikol Eitz Hagan. Okay, here is not just a one olive verb, but what I like to call a naughty one olive verb. It is very, very naughty. What's naughty about it? The olive has no vowel pointing, so what has it done here? It has quiesced. And not only has the olive quiesced, but what vowel does the imperfect prefix yod take here in this form? That's a holum. Is that normal? No. This is very unusual. We have never seen a holum prefix vowel for the cal, imperfect, or WCI. Okay? So, on both of those accounts, this is a naughty verb. Okay? So, but if you are trying to parse this and you know the verb amar, it's still not too hard to figure out that this is your 3 root letters, and this is a cal WCI 3MS, right? I have a prefix yod before root 1 and no suffix on the end. Okay, I got a vi with a doubling dot. That's a WCI form. Okay, the only time you have your one olives behaving in this naughty way is in the cal. In all the other stems, the one olive verb just behaves like any old one guttural. Okay, it's in the cal stem that they're really, really bad. Okay, so what does amar mean? To say. So make it a WCI in the 3MS, and it's he said. And then Elohim's role is what? It's the subject. Elohim said. Okay, and Elohim said. And so here's the quotation. Acho tochal. Look, shared root letters. Don't I have shared root letters? Does this look like an infinitive absolute? Achol? Yep. Pakod, achol. Same vowel pointing. So this is an emphasis use. What does tochal mean? Got a prefix tav before the aleph. No ending. Which person, gender, number is that? It could be 3FS or 2FS in the imperfect. Now look at the aleph. I've got a holum before the aleph with the tav prefix. That's another naughty one olive verb, isn't it? What stem do they behave naughtily like this? Only in the cal. Okay, so you will, or I can also translate it as you may. Remember, the imperfect could be future or any of the other modal auxiliary nuances. May, might, would, should, must, can. All right? Here he's giving permission, and he's strengthening it with the infinitive absolute over here. So you may surely, you may freely, achal, eat. You may surely eat, mikol. What's that? From any or every, eitz, tree, hagan. Okay, how is eitz and hagan related to each other? This isn't a construct chain. In fact, kol is the first member of the construct chain, then eitz, then hagan. So this is a 3-part construct chain from all of the tree of the garden, or from every tree of the garden. All right? So we have a 3-part construct chain that is the object of the preposition men. From all of them. Okay, good. So how many naughty one olive verbs do we have in the cal stem of Hebrew? There's 4, 5? There's 5. Who can give me the sentence that includes in English all 5 of the naughty one olive verbs? He said, I am willing to eat whatever I bake, even if I perish. Okay? So it's Amar, he said, I am willing, Ava, to eat, Achal, whatever I bake, Afa, even if I perish, Avad. Now, Ross gives you only 3 of these verbs in the present chapter. Amar, Achal, Avad. Okay, so those you need to know. You need to know those. Amar, Achal, Avad. To say, to eat, to perish. That sounds like something Julius Caesar would have said. I said, I ate, I perished. I came, I saw, I conquered. Right? Okay. Ava and Afa, they're irregular verbs. They're 3 hey verbs. So you wouldn't really have to learn those until later. And they don't happen as frequently as these 3 do. There's a lot of talking in the Hebrew Bible. There's a lot of eating, and there's a lot of perishing. Yes, Hebrew is a violent language. There's some willing, and there's some baking. But there's a lot more perishing, to be sure. Okay. This is fun, isn't it? Okay. And by the way, this form, Vayomer, which we just analyzed, we're going to see that. If you read the Hebrew Bible, you're going to see it over and over and over and over again. Because constantly in Hebrew narrative, people are being reported as saying such and such. And he said this, and he said that, and he said this. All right, so you'll get used to the naughty one olive pattern. Okay, other questions? Let's look at number 11. Let's read it. Ready? Tochal iti kol yamei chayecha velo e'ezov otach. All right. So here is achal. We just went over that, didn't we? What does achal mean? To eat. Good. And notice I have the imperfect prefix tav and the holum prefix vowel. And the aleph is quiesced. So that is my naughty one aleph pattern, isn't it? What stem is that? Naughty one aleph verbs are in what stem? The kal. Okay, so kal imperfect. With the prefix tav, no ending, it's 2 possibilities. 3fs or 2ms. Okay, so at this point, we do not know who we're talking about. So it's an open question. But as we keep reading, we're going to come to this pronominal suffix with the ka. Which pronoun is ka? That's 2ms. So that gives me a presumption that I'm probably dealing with a you as a subject over here, right? So it is, if it's imperfect, let's try the future tense first. You what? Will eat. Okay, you will eat. And I have iti. Okay, you will eat the monster, E.T. from outer space. No, let's not do that. How about you will eat me? Is this the direct object marker with the one common singular pronominal suffix? You will eat me? Okay, yeah. The direct object form of et with the 1cs pronoun is othi. Othi. You will eat him, otho. You will eat me, othi. Okay, this has a dagesh forte in the tav and the kirik under the aleph. What word is that? It's a preposition that means what? Remember with? If the word et occurs with the dagesh forte in the tav, then it's with. Okay? So you will eat with me. You will eat with me. Kol yamei chayecha. Remember how we just saw a 3-part construct chain with kol? Do we have another one here? Is the second word a construct form? What nationality does it look? It's Canadian, isn't it? Through and through, eh? Okay, so all the days of Hayecha, your life. All the days of the life of you. Okay, so all the days of your life. Remember, the word for life is Chayim, which is plural all the time, but it is singular in translation. It's not lives, but life. Okay? So life, your life, all the days of your life. You will eat with me all the days of your life. Velo e'azov. Okay, and not, and here I have a verb form. My 3 root letters are azav, which means what? To leave or forsake. Prefix aleph, so which person, gender, number is that? It's 1 CS, good. And which conjugation takes the prefix aleph? Perfect, imperfect? What? This is an imperfect. Now, I have a lo in front of it, don't I? So that can only negate imperfects as well. Remember, all negates jussives and cohortatives. Okay, so here's one last question. Is this the cal, nifal, pl, pual? What stem is this? It's the cal. How do I know? What vowel class is the nutty prefix's vowel? Segol is I class. Is that what I expect in the cal? Yes. Usually a Keurig, but I've got a guttural in root 1 position, and it likes compound shavas, and I'm getting the I class variety of the compound shava, right? And then what theme vowel is usually the cal imperfect going to have? Holam, right? Pakad becomes yif, code, holam. And here this is azav, zov, holam. Okay, so I will forsake, but negate it. I will not forsake. Otach, you. Okay, so here is the form of the direct object marker with the pronominal suffix. You see the holam? Here it is with, not the direct object marker. Okay, which pronoun is otach? It's the direct object marker with to. It looks second feminine singular, doesn't it? But it's not. It's second masculine singular. What's happened here? It's pausal lengthening. I get this siluk, which is a strong disjunctive accent. It causes the vowel pointing to lengthen. It should have been this. O to cha, with the ka ending and a vocal shava. Put it in this form. Give it the siluk. The vocal shava lengthens to the long A, and we get a corresponding shortening to a silent shava. So the U here is a masculine U in pause. Okay? The 2FS looks just like that. So yeah, so in form it's ambiguous, but if you see the strong disjunctive accent like the siluk or the athnak, then it's pausally lengthened, and that's really a 2MS form. Okay? So I will not forsake you. Right. You just might have a different accent mark. Now, so this is either reflecting something like what Boaz might have told Ruth, maybe the day that he told her he would marry her, right? You shall eat with me all the days of your life. But of course, this is 2MS. So unless Ruth was something we didn't know about, that's probably not it. So the other story I think of that this could reflect would be David and Mephibosheth. David's a good friend Jonathan had a son that David was faithful to.